Welcome to Latest Brighton Music, where, guess what? We're going to talk about the latest music in Brighton. This time round, Scare Taxi. But don't be afraid, they're not scary. Thank you very much for joining us today, you guys. In a very special day, isn't it?
It certainly is.
It's the launch of your...
debut album. I said it with a slightly American accent because it was actually an American kind of fan, I guess, that has done this for us.
So, Dead by Music.
Yeah.
Do you actually mean it?
It's death as in, it can be like a bee stinging you and then it dies, but it's been worth it. And then it's also like a bit of a homage to bands that do one album and then disappear. But then you've got bands who say they're going to do one album and don't disappear. We're in the second category.
What shall we expect? What shall we expect from this album? What you're listening, like, you listen to this and say like, oh my God, is like or is not like?
Well, it's got a lot of everything in it because it's both our pasts and our present and, you know, where we're going to go in the future. So the songs bring together everything that we've done and then stuff that we've done together as well. So there's kind of a big mixture of styles, but it's almost like a bibliography of all of our songwriting over the last few years. So it's a bit, yeah, it's very varied and it's very songwriting based. So it's not like the Ramones. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and like carve out one sound. We carve out songs instead. So
it's very energetic.
Yeah.
I think you have to be. You don't want to be in a relaxing, somber mood when you listen to our album. We are quite scary.
Yeah. Yeah, talking about the scary. I mean, Scary Taxi, where that name came from?
Well, we were going through loads and loads of names, and we just couldn't think of anything. And originally, we were called the Monotonics, but it sounded really moddy. And
also like monotonic, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit maybe mono.
Yeah.
And then we had the Red, White and Black, and that kind of suited our sound at the time, but we've kind of progressed, and nothing that we chose actually suited us. And this one day we were in a taxi going to the pub, and we had a really, really weird taxi driver, and I turned around to Bogue and I was like, Scare Tactics. And we both looked at each other and went, Scary taxi driver, Scare Taxi. So that's where it came from, really.
Your shining moment was there.
Yeah, it was.
I can see that in the background we have the music video you guys did. Is it stop motion? You guys did it yourself?
Oh, no, we're not that talented. It was a friend of ours. Do you want to say? Or?
We had a friend of ours called Avi, and she came up with the idea with working with Tara to do the stop motion design for it. So it gave it a kind of a dreamlike quality, which matches the music because the music's quite dreamlike as well. So it's why it kind of ebbs and flows in a very slow way to match the music, rather than having something dynamic and fast cutting that would just distract you from the music as well. It complements it instead of fighting it. So I think that's why it went down so well at the CD launch. You got a massive round of applause, like a support band had been on. So it's been a joy, absolute joy to be involved with it.
And a big thank you to Abby for doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sounded a
Thank you,
sharp
Abby.
boy.
Thank you very much. But Scare Taxi, when I saw you first years ago, there were 3 of you. And it was just 2. What happened to the 3rd one? You got scared?
Yeah. It's always kind of just been the 2 of us. When we first wrote songs, it was always with a drum machine or using drum loop tracks. And then a drummer would come along and they'd kind of mimic the sounds and maybe come up with a few of their own roles or ideas. But it's kind of gone back to just the 2 of us. Yeah. It was like the 10 green bottles sitting on the wall, but it was the 7 strange drummers sitting on a stool. And when one strange drummer should accidentally fall, there'll be 6 strange drummers. Yeah, so we've had 7 drummers, but it's just not, it's either not gelled or they've gone off to do other things, and it just feels right for us to...
It's just meant to be.
Yeah, it's just meant to be us 2. Yeah.
They were all Pete Best, and none of them were Ringo Starr. So.
So very quickly, we're running out of time. What's next for the Scare Taxi?
Well, because it's a digital release of an album, we're going to digitally promote it with TV, radio, interviews, anything we can do. And then we'll play later in the year with, we've got a big gig at the Chalk venue with Gina's Jezebel. It's their 40th anniversary tour, and it's their last gig of the tour, so it's going to be a riot. We've got gigs in Spain, Germany, so we're going outside of the UK now, get the album out there. And big thanks also to Syed from Kill Art Movement, who's released the album worldwide, so thanks to him, otherwise it wouldn't have got out there, I don't think. We don't know how to use computers.
Yeah, we're old school.
Brilliant. Best of luck for you guys, and thank you for joining us on this episode. And don't forget, don't be scared and look for the Scare Taxi. Thank you for watching.